had a faculty meeting right after the scores came out. They hadn't been published in the newspaper yet. So we just assumed they were just not good, not great. But then we were told we were the lowest in the district, and after doing some comparison, probably the lowest in the state.
This school was devastated. I always describe it as a dark cloud that was hanging over the school, and we knew these children could do better.
In retrospect, getting the low test scores was actually a good thing, because it enabled us to take a look at ourselves and our teaching methods and the curriculum we were using and lay it out on the table and say, okay, look, these are the things that we're doing. Let's look at it and let's take out the things that we know that aren't enriching the students, aren't helping their academic achievement, and let's see what else we need to do. Let's go back to the way things should be. Let's go back to basics.
It was requested that we take on the Lindamood-Bell program. When I first heard about it, I thought, another program. I had seen so many programs come and go, and I really wasn't interested in it at the time. But our special ed teacher, Karen Brown, was the one that had some experience with it, and she convinced me that I really ought to take a look at it, that it was different. I saw immediate results with students. It's like a toolbox for children to learn how to read.
Lindamood-Bell is an organization that started about 30 years ago as a research-based think tank, essentially, that specifically looked into what are the determining factors that load a child's ability to read. And since that time, we have grown to continue in the area of research, some of which is being done right here in Pueblo, Colorado, in your school district. And we have about 25 centers throughout the country, and our area of specialization is in the diagnosis and the intervention and in research in areas associated with what it takes to make students better readers. Our goal is to come in and work with the staff, create the necessary competencies in collaboration with the district, and then certify individuals who now can own the process within the building itself. And that's been a real critical feature of the overall success of what's going on at Bessemer.
It's very difficult to reform public education. It's hard, it's complicated to make things better. I want you to remember that it was Mark Twain who once said, "Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example." I want you to think about Bessemer Elementary School in Pueblo when we think about what Mark Twain said, because if there's ever a school in Colorado which had an excuse for failure, it was Bessemer Elementary School in Pueblo. 3 years ago, we tested at Bessemer, and only 12% of Bessemer's children read at grade level, and only 2% wrote at grade level. Well, Bessemer didn't accept excuses. They didn't make excuses. What they did was they went out and I believe they made history. I want to introduce to you Joyce Bales, who's the superintendent of Pueblo School District 60. Joyce, thank you very much.
The mission of Pueblo School District number 60 is to provide a quality education for all students. And our vision is that 100% of our students will reach proficiency in reading. Reading is perhaps the most important skill that a child can learn, because reading opens up the doors in terms of academic success, as well as just the pleasure in life of learning to read and use your imagination.
Now, someone else who knows that this can be done is Joyce Bales, the superintendent of the Pueblo school system in Colorado. To Dr. Bales, low income does not mean low expectations. She believes that every child can learn. So all the things that the president and I talk about, she did. She got a research-based reading program. She trained her teachers. She got the parents involved. She set high expectations and demanded results. And so people now in Pueblo know what history has shown. When you raise the bar, people rise to meet the challenge. So achievement in Pueblo now is soaring.
You can't solve a problem unless you first diagnose the problem. And so the accountability schools understand, the accountability rules understand that schools can achieve, and that's why these 8 are up here with us. And I want to cite 2 examples. One, Beulah Heights Elementary in Pueblo, Colorado. The proportion of 4th graders reading at or above proficiency has gone from 50%, which is clearly unacceptable, to 86% in 3 years. How do we know? We measured. He wouldn't be standing here if we didn't measure. We'd be guessing as to whether or not. And we'd find out, unfortunately, after the 50% that couldn't read graduated from high school and still couldn't read. Accountability helps address problems early before it's too late. Accountability gives us a chance to praise the principal and thank your teachers, too.